Hey guys, welcome back. I want to get this wench mounted to the plate and then get those two receivers mounted in the concrete, because tomorrow I'm going to be moving the two pickup trucks around. The one that's in the spray booth's coming out here, and this one's going into the spray booth so I can primer it tomorrow. So there will be a video tomorrow on primering the long bed Chevy. Everything is done bodywork wise except for the rocker panels. I've not done the rocker panels yet. Still need to weld those in. But I want to get primer on this because I want it to start drying and shrinking. And I want to get the dually put together. So I'm going to let this set for like 2 weeks and let that primer thoroughly dry and work on getting that dually put together in the meantime. Plus, once this thing's in primer, I can kind of pull it in and out of the shop as I need the spray booth. Now, once I'm done putting the dually together, I'll get these rockers welded in, and then we'll block sand this truck down. And then after we're done block sanding this truck down, we'll primer it one more time. When we primer it the second time, I will primer the rocker panels at that point. Now, when I paint this vehicle, I'm going to paint the roof by itself, okay? And I'm going to take it down to here, okay? Because there's a molding that goes right around the center of this cab right here. And I'm going to put a tape line right here through the center of the molding. I'm going to paint that whole top part. Because this truck's really high and I'd have to have a ladder set up and everything else to try to paint it all in one shot, and that's just asking for a problem with the hose on the side of the vehicle and stuff like that. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I don't know how straight it's going to be until I start block sanding. Somebody had messaged last night and said, hey, you know, the polyester primer is meant for just the body filled areas. And yes, I do know that, and I have read that before, but this truck has quite a bit of body filler on it. And there's quite a bit of areas that were pretty wavy, so that's why I want to coat the whole thing. Not going to put it on the roof. I'm only going to hit the couple Bondo spots I put up there with the polyester primer. Other than that, the roof's going to stay. All the sides and the hood, I'm going to polyester primer all of it. He kind of mentioned saying that, you know, it's kind of a waste of money. I get it. I understand that, but I also want it to be pretty straight. So what's the difference between doing that versus putting down a coat of glazing filler on the whole entire vehicle? In my opinion, it's a little bit easier to spray it on than it is to apply it with a Bondo spreader and sand it that way. So basically, this U-pull glazing filler right here is a polyester filler, okay? So it's basically pretty much the same kind of stuff that we're using, you know, as far as polyester filler primer. So I don't really see much different between using this versus spraying it. Obviously spraying it is going to be a quicker solution. I'm just reading that real quick. So all right, let's get, before I mount the receivers to the floor, I did pick up a box of 1/2 inch washers, a box of 50, because I'm probably gonna have to put probably 2 underneath each one. But I want to mount the hitch or the receiver to the wench first, because I want to make sure that no bolts interfere with the floor, which they should not, because that flange is bent down. In theory, it shouldn't be a problem, but let's just put it together first. Also, I picked up 2 more of these cheap carts at Harbor Freight. Got them for 10 bucks a piece tonight, so that was a pretty good deal. So I want to get the handle put together first. There's 2 handles that go onto this carriage here, whatever you want to call it. All the parts are in here for that. Looks pretty simple. And then what we'll be able to do is put it on one of these 2 carts, and you know, I'll be able to wheel it around the shop. Maybe I'll get a little cover or something for it so it doesn't get filled with debris and dirt and everything else. So I believe that these just go just like that, and then your bolt goes through the handles. Everything's pretty damn heavy duty. I'm actually pretty impressed with how thick everything is. It's about a 3/16 inch thick steel. This is almost looks like a 1/4 inch, but these are about 3/16. So I think what I'm going to do is loosely put these together first. I have to look at the instructions because I don't know what these are. There's two of them. It's funny, their drawing is wrong. Or their picture, rather. Looks like those two tabs go in here. Something to do with this right here. So I don't know if that's with mounting the winch to it or not. That would be my guess. So all right, I'm gonna get these handles bolted on to that, and then we'll get the winch unboxed. Still haven't opened the box yet for that. And we will, oh, those are for the wheel adjustment, the roller adjustment that goes on the front of the plate. Okay. All right, yeah, this looks pretty straightforward. All right, let me get this stuff put together here. Okay, that part's together. Let's open up this winch now and see what we need to do here. So all that's left in this box is one washer. They gave me one too many. And then these couple pieces. Put this stuff up here. Get this out of the way. Now this one also comes with the controller, a wired controller, which we are not going to use, but it's always good to keep it because you never know. Looks like some battery terminals. A fancy zip tie, just one. Hook. Okay, it looks like it, we'll have to flip it upside down. Oh, guess it doesn't, well, yeah, that'll work. So the front's this way. So then this has to go like this. And we bolt this onto there. so it's just thinner ones. It's these 4. I'm going to double check the instructions. I don't know what the other hardware is for. Could it be for different mounting purposes? Very well could be. Look at that. It's got a Christmas tree right there. You can go and cut down your Christmas tree and yank it down with your winch. Let's see here. Doesn't really show you mounting it to it. Maybe it's in the other instruction. Nope. We'll just, yeah, it's on here. Okay. All right. Forgot to put the nuts in there. You gotta slide these nuts inside the housing, and then you can put your bolt in. Sizes are 5/8. Oh man, I broke my socket extension. You grab another one of these, snap that puppy right off. All right. Mount this guy on the front. Not sure if we need that or not. So yeah, we gotta mount this now. And we don't need those tabs because it goes right there. Hopefully I can get in there with a wrench still. Probably should have put that on first, but I think I can get it still. Maybe. Yeah, I kind of screwed that one up. I can get it. I just gotta, I'm gonna have to sit on the floor, I think. Okay, now I'm going to mount this controller box with the wires coming out of it with these 4 Phillips screws, and they have blue Loctite on them already from the factory. I recommend putting this front plate on before you put the winch onto the bracket. Make your life a lot easier. It wasn't horrible, but it was definitely, could have been done a lot quicker if I didn't do that. Okay, now we have 3 wires that we have to hook up, and they are color coded to make your life a little bit easier. Yellow to yellow, blue to blue, red to red. And we need to hook these up to these terminals. And it came with this, and I wonder if I'd have to take that back off, because maybe it'd be smart for me to have a shorter wire, but that's all right. We'll just leave this spooled up like this. Boy, I sure hope I can get these terminals on. That might suck. Can't get the nut off. What the hell? I mean, it's so damn close. Oh, I got it. So our red one here. Flat washer, lock washer. Yep, should have put this wires on too. The other 2 don't look as bad. and I'll show this working tomorrow. All right, that one's on. Probably should do the blue one next. Supposed to slide these boots over the terminals. I mean, this is indoor use, but might as well hook it up correctly. That's just about on. I'll mess with that in a minute. Ugh. Okay, this I'm going to save because I don't really need it. I'm not going to have it hooked up to a vehicle, so I don't need to turn it on and off. I'll just use, so basically that red cable goes into here, and then the other short cable goes on the other side. But I don't have a use for this. I'm going to save it in case I ever do need it for something. But we should physically be able to just take the positive terminal from the jump box, put it on the red wire, and then just put the negative onto one of the bolts on the frame of it, would be my guess. Because we're obviously not going to have it mounted to a vehicle, so we're not going to have ground. So that's pretty much that. Let's set it on the floor and see if this, how much washers I'm going to need, if any. I think I'm probably going to put one or two just to be on the safe side, just so it doesn't go in at a weird angle or something. there. I don't think I need any washers. That's awesome. We'll put one. We'll do one. Okay, so now we need to go mark the concrete so we can drill that out. We're going to use my little hammer drill here. This is just a cheap one from Harbor Freight. I don't use these very often. I probably do have a 1/2 inch bit in here. This is 1/2 inch, but I did buy a new one because I wasn't sure how good a shape that one was in. Plus I wasn't positive if I had a 1/2 inch. Actually, this is bigger than a 1/2 inch. This looks like 5/8. Yep, 5/8. So good thing I did pick one up. Now, these things are a pain in the ass to get out of the damn package. This is an SDS bit, and it's made for these style drills, and it just slides in here and it clips in. So now we need to go mark on the concrete where we're going to drill our 4 holes. And these are called redheads. Actually, it comes with a washer, but we're going to use that one on top. We'll put one underneath. But I'm just looking here. So basically, where these thread, or where these, on the drill bit here, we'll drill it down to right at the edge where the writing starts, and we should be good there. So let's go back there, mark it with a Sharpie, and we'll drill the 4 holes. Make sure that the holes in this are big enough. Yes, they are. So let's go back here and we'll mark it. My 4 holes. We go get my drill. Okay, I'm gonna get these drilled. It's always smart to wear safety glasses when you're drilling because concrete can occasionally shoot up and it'll go right in your eyes. I'll do 1 regular speed on the camera and then we'll just speed up the other 3 holes. I'm actually going to grab my vacuum so I could suck that up rather than it going in the hole. Okay, now we want to leave the nut on and tap it into the floor with a hammer. The reason why you want to leave the nut on is you're not going to screw up the threads. Now, I'm probably going to have to tighten them a little bit first, and then take them back loose so that I get some threads exposed. Probably going to have to use a ratchet. This one just wants to spin. You're only supposed to torque them to like 25 foot-pounds, so you got to be careful. You don't really want to use like an impact because you will over tighten them and screw them up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go grab a. I'm gonna go grab a 1/2 inch ratchet, an extension, and a socket. Oh, it's 9/16. Oh, grabbed the wrong socket. I might have to drill this one a little bit lower if I can get it back out. That should be all right if it tightens. All right. This one's giving me a problem. Oh, I might have gotten it. Now, I wasn't sure how thick this concrete is in here because this was here when I got the place, so I don't know if it's 4 inches thick, 3 inches thick, 5 inches thick, but apparently I didn't drill all the way through, so that's a good thing. All right, so we have those 4. I need to grab 4 washers. I gotta sit down. So basically what happens is, I'll show you on one of these redheads how they work. There's a sleeve on the bottom, and as you tighten these, the sleeve starts sliding up the hole and wedging the bolt tighter and tighter. This one might be an issue. That one might be a problem. Thought I drilled them all the same. Probably shouldn't have tapped that with a hammer. Probably should have left well enough alone, but we got it. I'm going to go with no washer on that one. And might have to go with no washer at first just to get these to come up higher through the concrete. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to take it back off. All right, let me pause it for a minute. I'm gonna drive these down farther, see if I can get the threads to come up a little bit higher, so I can get enough thread to put the washer and nut on top of that plate. Okay, I believe I got them all to the good length now. I had to pull one out. I screwed up the threads on one of them. But if you look here, as this tightens up, there's two slits in this thing. And this tapered head drives up as you're tightening it, and it expands this out into the concrete. Yeah, I put the one nut on and I cross-threaded it, so I had to pull it back out, which was not easy. I had to use vice grips. And when you pull it back out, you have to tap the thread back down and then grab the collar with your vice grips and then wiggle it out of the concrete. This one's still not high enough in the back here for a washer. I do have my impact, my little battery one, so I can get it. Did I really strip another one? Seriously? Alright, tonight's going really well. Part of the other problem is there's a hump in the concrete right here. It's higher over here than over here. And there's a dip in the middle, so it's kind of screwing me up. Pain in the ass. Yeah, that hump is really screwing with me here. don't think this one's gonna tighten. Hey. Got it. This one not yet. That ain't going nowhere. All right, let me clean this up and we'll bring the winch over here and see if it slides in. Also, on the bottom of the motor, I found the ground lug for the ground wire. So what we'll do is we'll just use the jumper box and just clip the negative right to that lug on the bottom. Okay. Slides in there perfectly. You grab that pin real quick. Beautiful. I highly doubt that's going to go anywhere. A little concerned. Well, no, that should be fine too, because I'm in a little bit. That one in the spray booth, this has concrete behind it because of the room behind it. That one's going to be more at the outer edge, but it should be fine as well. I'm not going to operate this till tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just going to keep that cable like that. We'll just hook our terminal on there. And there's a lug under here for the ground, which I need to tighten up. I think it's loose. And that'll be our ground and that. And it should work good. Tomorrow we'll use it to pull the dually back in, because there's no way that when I back that dually outside, I'm going to be able to get it back in this side without burning out, because we have snow and ice out there. But it looks like it's going to work really well. I'm going to go on Amazon and see if they sell a little cover for this, because it would be kind of nice to put a cover on this and put it onto the cart right there and just cover it up, and then I can wheel it. I don't know where I'll keep it yet. Probably when I get the new shop done, I'll keep it back there in a closet or something and then just wheel it out as I need it. Because I am going to mount one of these receiver hitches in the back building as well. That's going to be 6 to 8 inches thick of concrete, so that won't be an issue at all. This concrete feels all right. I mean, it tightened up pretty good. I don't want to over tighten it because you can strip those out. So, and what happens is the whole stud starts spinning. And you don't want to do that. That's why they say to only torque it to a certain spec. It actually says 20 foot-pounds of torque. So, all right, that's going to end this video. I'm not even going to mount that other receiver until the morning. It's after 10 o'clock. I've been out here since, I've been in and out because I had to go to Cleveland today to pick up a TV. But I've been started at like 8 o'clock this morning. So it's now 10 o'clock at night, and I think I'm going to end my day. Tomorrow morning, first thing I'm going to do is mount the other hitch into the booth. And then I will pull this truck out, pull the dually out. This truck might drive into the booth by itself. I'm not sure yet. still might burn out, but it does have some weight in the bed. But I need to get this into the booth tomorrow, tape it off, and get it primered. I gotta take the front bumper off in the morning too. So, you know, I probably won't be primering until after lunch tomorrow, which is fine. I could stay out here and drill that other one in, but I don't feel like it. That one was a little bit of a pain in the ass because that one stripped, which was my fault. I didn't have enough threads, and I tried to tighten it, and it just wiped out the threads on the end of the stud a little bit. So just pulled it back out. It is what it is. I have a love-hate relationship with those redheads. I've had really good success with them and really shitty success with them. This was an okay success. Sometimes they go really well and sometimes they just don't. This one went all right. I mean, it wasn't horrible. Could have did without having to pull that one out, but whatever. I think it's gonna hold well. I mean, those are 3 inches long, 4 of them in the ground. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I mean, the vehicles are on wheels. So it's not like I'm towing, you know, 9,000 pounds of a vehicle that's sliding on the concrete. So it shouldn't be too stressful, I don't think. But then again, I don't know. I guess if it rips out of the concrete, it'll go flying. No, it shouldn't. It should be fine. When I do the back building, I'll probably get 4-inch bolts because I know I'm going to have plenty of thickness in the concrete to deal with that. And I don't know if I'm going to put 1 or 2 over there as well. Probably just 1 into the first bay, and then the second bay, because there's going to be like a bar and stuff in there, and I'd rather not have one of those sitting on the floor unless I put it right up against the bar or something. But still, I'm not sure yet. I think 1 should be enough. We'll see what happens. You know, if I have to add a second one, I have to add a second one. It is what it is. But it's just going to be nice to be able to roll that thing around on that cart from here to the spray booth to the back building and be able to pull anything in by myself. At least that's my my goal, as long as it works like I think it will. Now this is mounted over this way, and the cars kind of come in on an angle, but in theory that really shouldn't really matter because I'll just turn the wheel and it should be okay. It might get a, you know, it might get a little bit hairy as I get closer to the wench, but to be honest with you, once I have all 4 wheels in here, I can push it at that point. It's just getting it over the hump, you know, out of the ice into here. Once all 4 are on the concrete, should be able to push it myself or whatever, you know. I need to look at the dually because I spliced in that gas line temporarily because it was leaking, and I told the guy, my buddy, that it needs a whole new gas line. Well, apparently where I spliced it together wasn't the only spot it was leaking. Now it's leaking back farther, so I'm probably gonna have to cut the line again and add another piece of hose because it was leaking pretty good. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna end this. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna winch a truck into the shop, get this thing taped off and primered. I'll show you how I'm gonna tape off around the windows and stuff. I'm gonna do it a little bit different than you would think I'm gonna do it. And then once this is primered, I'll be looking pretty good to start wet sanding the dually on Wednesday. We're gonna be doing wet sanding with paint stick and 1,000 grit, and working our way up to 3,000 grit, and then buffing the whole truck, every single piece. I still have to paint the front grille, the door handles, and maybe a lower front valance. So I have a few things to paint. I have to get a little bit more white paint, but other than that, that's about it. So thanks for watching, guys. If you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up, any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Don't do the things I did as far as putting the winch on the bracket first. Hook up your wires and that front roller system on the bracket first, then drop your winch into the bracket and put that on last. That would have saved me probably about 10-15 minutes of struggle. But I already had it bolted on. I didn't feel like unbolting it. So thanks for watching, guys. See you later.